4 points. He's going to try and push these rallies to get his fitness lacquer there.
2-1.
Both players quite tall, those long legs, obviously. If you're shorter, you have to run.
And it is wonderful to see this many people here. It's a big crowd, and for us it's a great honor to have the first ever PSA tournament in Namibia.
I mean, it's a huge tournament. We have the likes of the wonderful teams that we all know all the way from Egypt. How stiff or how tight do you see the competition that we have going on here today based off the players that came in?
Well, it's anyone's game. Our number 1 seed on the ladies' side won the Joburg Open last week, so she's fresh from a good win there. On the men's side, there's a lot of stiff competition. A lot of the guys have played each other, but there's a lot of unknown factors as well.
Like you just said, the number 1 ranked, she is here. How good is it for Namibia to have to be exposed to athletes of that caliber? Like, I mean, number 1, it's not easy to be in that sport, and to be here around Namibians, how good is it for us?
For us, this is huge. For the Namibian squash, this is something we've dreamed of literally since independence to have a professional tournament in Namibia, and finally it's come true. So it's really huge. It's going to be big for our squash players, for our own players, and for the development of the game in total.
Well, the Egypt ambassador of Namibia is here with us. Just tell us, how long are we going to be here for the viewers that are watching from home? Where can they come tune in and all of that?
Well, we'll be live on air until Saturday evening when the finals will be. For those who want to come and watch in person, it's at Wanderers in Pioneers Park. There will be squash every morning from at least 7 or 8 in the morning up until I think Friday night until 8, Saturday until about 6 o'clock. But brilliant squash, brilliant action, and love to see everyone here.
Brilliant squash, brilliant action. We'd love to see everyone here. Well, that's the word from the Vice President himself. Do stay tuned. There's more squash coming your way.
We'll be back on NTV and our other platforms tomorrow, same time. So tune in again for some excellent squash.
For safety, in case someone's going to get hit with the ball or the racket. And then what they do then is they just have to go and serve the point again, and they start over again. So on a let, no point. Gabriel now is on game ball. What a lovely shot by John.
And out for 10.
We smashed it from the right. Gabriel now is in a rhythm of mind and his body movement at the moment. And he's just progressively enjoying his game and playing.
Feeling each other here in the first game of this match. What pulls all the time. A lot of concentration. You need to play the game of squash. Even more at the top level.
The organizers are trying to arrange and get Nigeria to replace Zimbabwe, as there are a couple of Nigerians taking part in this tournament.
Just now in cricket, driving forward with the bottom man.
It's fishing, but the players often do that just to take their time, catch their breath, reset. That was a great shot there by Luan. He got Adiboki right. Looking for that nick again, and that's always the problem when you... Oh, that is a fantastic cross-court drop. Hit it just above the tin, making sure that second bounce was pretty much dead in the corner. That's a very, very difficult. Rafiat hit the ball down the middle, and she would have wanted to capitalize on that and put some pressure onto Rafiat. But she hit that straight into the tin, which obviously isn't ideal for her. Could get there out of the back corner. Or will she? Exactly like that. I was just about to say. Play the high-risk shots and hope they come off. Try and save her energy. If she loses the game, then she's, I would say, about 5'9", so it's probably a normal length. But Miriam Ashraf is a very small person by stature, and the way that she glides across the court, they can fetch everything. Her positioning, her movement is just phenomenal, and that's something about Egyptian squash. I mean, world class. But Ashraf really seems to have picked up the pace here. Make sure that she keeps Rafiat from Nigeria under pressure and doesn't let her get comfortable, and we have match ball to Miriam Ashraf. There's a chance, and she takes the game. It was a fantastic game of squash. Miriam Ashraf walking away as the winner. Dani, this means
some of the top players, they actually spend about 4 to 5 hours, just exercising, practicing. Obviously, just on the court, but also off the court, doing a bit of strength exercises. Really a lot of commitment, especially with the PSA players. They really need to put in a lot of effort because that's also their income. So, but mentally, I think that's a big part of it. I've seen some brilliant players that when they go on court, they just don't make it psychologically. So I think the mental fitness is equally important. So.
Okay.
Worse and worse, if that's the word I'm going to use.
Groenewald drawing ahead there with another point, again 5-4 now.
That's how it works. Fitness and mind and tactics and your level of skill can take you into a winning factor. We saw this yesterday with Max Njola being in the fifth set and making mistakes. He's made 2 mistakes quickly in a row, and Damien came back into the game. And I just hope Gabriel can.
No matter what, you must first get the basics right before you pull off fancy shots.
That's a difficult one, Daniel. These guys can play their fancy shots most day long, and
getting another point. 2 up, 8-6.
Down, 9-6.
And corner. Smith not being able to reach it. It's the bigger man of the two. So it's 2-love now to 1 already there in the lead. Also with 1-love.
Down, 2-love.
Catching feeling very. A lot of mistakes in this match so far. Hampering play. Like we said also. Now Dial there on court and plays as well.
100%.
4-7.
Getting more comfortable as the match progresses. So you said it might be, the jitters.
That's again incredibly fast across the court, but he reads the game so well. He realized that Nkhize was going to be great. I really can't wait to see what happens tomorrow. We're really going to have world-class squash. Every day gets better. Obviously, the guys' bodies are also feeling it after a week of intense squash. But Donnie, you've been sitting next to me for the last 3 days. I'm sure you've learnt a lot about squash as well. I'm sure you've got a great experience. Are we going to be seeing you on court soon?
On court soon. I'll have to think about that. But yes, I must say I would like to thank the association and OneVerse. I've really learned a lot. Had to brush up a bit on my basic knowledge of the game, but I really enjoyed it for the last 3 days, and I will definitely enjoy it tomorrow as well. Thanks to BDO, the main sponsor here. Thanks to OneVerse. Thanks to the Namibia Squash Association. We'll be joining you tomorrow again live on network television at 4.
It's going to
NAMRAD strives to provide the best radiological care. We keep up to date with new technology, and with our state-of-the-art department, all radiology services are provided at one convenient location. You can find them at Lady Pohamba Private Hospital, corner of Frankie Fredericks and Umbika Street, Kleine Cooper, Windhoek.
And we're back. This is the Namibia Squash Open, sponsored by BDO, coming to its climax with the 2 finals in the PSA division here for ladies and men. And on the court, you can see the 2 Egyptians warming up. That's Mena Walid playing counterpart Mariam Ashraf. Now, I think on paper they will probably call Walid the favorite. She's seeded first in this tournament. Ashraf seeded 7th. And how did they get here? Mena Walid first beat Danae van Zyl, ranked seeded 16th, 3 love. Now, earlier today, Danae van Zyl won the ladies A division 3-0 against Linda Marie Carlitz from Namibia. And after beating Danae van Zyl, Walid dispatched Favor Otukpe from Nigeria, the 8th seed, also with 3 love. And then she had a much tougher match against the 4th seed during the semi-finals yesterday. That was Amina El Riani, and beating her 3 love in the end, but 2 of those games going to tie-break. Ashraf, 7th seed, like I said, having maybe a tougher road to the final that you're about to see. She beat Namibia's Audrey Lambert. She seeded 10 and 3 love, that score was. And then she beat Rafiat Abdulaziz from Nigeria, 2nd seed in this tournament, with 3-2. So a tough one there. And yesterday in the semis, she beat Blessing Isaac from Nigeria, the 5th seed, 3 love. The world rankings of these 2 players: Walid ranked at 103rd, as opposed to Ashraf's ranking of 229th. That's a difference, Stephen Berry is with me, of 123 places on the world rankings. But like I said, I think it'll be tough for the favorite, Mena Walid, because Mariam Ashraf has really looked good in her previous matches. And maybe it's, sometimes it's in your favor that you've had the tougher matches to get here. I mean, she's seeded 7th in the tournament, and she took out the 2nd and the 5th seeded players.
Good evening, Donnie. Yeah, thanks for having me once again, and it's a privilege to be here. And a good evening to all of our viewers. Donnie, I agree with you. Mena Walid is obviously the favorite for this match. She's comes with a much higher world ranking. She comes with a lot more experience. She's been playing on the PSA circuit for a longer period of time. But Miriam Ashraf has really done herself proud this tournament. She's barely put a foot wrong. Every single match she's played, she's outclassed every single opponent she's had. But you are right, she has had the tougher share of the matches. But watching both of them warm up this afternoon and watching them in their post-match stretches afterwards, both players are looking exceptionally fresh, considering that this is their 4th match. Mena Walid is the favorite, but Miriam Ashraf, I think, is going to put off a great game, and I think she's also got just as much of a good chance. So it's going to be a very good game, very interesting.
Now in Windhoek, the Namibian capital today, outside that is a late September cool and windy day with some rain. Light raindrops this morning falling in places in the city. But of course things will be heating up on this court very soon. See the 2 players there.
The funny thing about
already started, it seems.
The funny thing about the squash in these courts, it gets extremely hot, and when it's cooler outside and rainy and all that kind of stuff, it's still very humid in the courts. And it's been like this all day. I had my match this morning as well, and as soon as you walk on, you start sweating. You feel the humidity. I think these players who play a lot of their squash in Europe will probably appreciate the humidity because I think they struggled
2-1.
with the dry air. It's funny hearing that from Egyptians, but they struggled with the dry air by the sounds of it. But I think it's because they spend so much time playing their squash in Europe, where it is obviously a little bit more humid. So, yeah, let's see how they handle it. I think it's going to be testing each other out quite a bit in the beginning. There will obviously be some nerves because there's quite a bit to play for. That I'm assuming will be a stroke, a let.
Ball was to the right. You were not ready to play it.
Okay, so the ref felt that was a let. I guess that's because he felt she wasn't in a position to play a winning shot, which I suppose is understandable. Uh-oh.
That's Ashraf there, bumping into Walid leading
Are you okay?
with 2 points to 1.
I hope she's all right. We already had a very bad injury on court today, earlier this afternoon, with the men's B division final between Philip Masunda from Zambia and Andrew Forrest from Namibia, where Andrew Forrest had a lead of 2-1. He turned to chase a drop shot and unfortunately tore his Achilles tendon, so he's probably going to be out for quite a while now, which is most unfortunate because he was 2-1 up in that match and looking set on the way to winning it. But yeah, the injuries, this happens in this game, and when you're playing at the highest level, then one has to be prepared for that.
He had to retire, and Philip Musondo, for the Zambian, winning the men's B division, back to play here. And both from Egypt, they will probably know each other better than having to play an opponent from a different country.
Yeah, I'm not sure how many times they've played against each other in actual tournaments before, but obviously knowing each other when they arrived, these two ladies and the other Egyptian trained with each other the whole time. So I guess that way they know each other's games, but match-wise, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what their head-to-head is. But look, Miriam Ashraf she hasn't started too badly. She is down on the scoreboard, but it doesn't look like that little fender bender has affected her game too much because she's still moving very well at the moment.
I think I looked it up on the internet. I think Walid and Ashraf has never played each other, even though they're from the same country. The Egyptians playing very much more on the international circuit. I spoke to one of their other players before this match, and she told me they don't actually have national rankings in Egypt. They determine their positions according to world rankings because they're one of the top squash playing countries in the world. And Ashraf there pulled one back.
5-3.
But Walid now taking the next point, taking back the 2-point lead. And we'll see a tough one, Stephen, I think.
Just to give the listeners a bit of an idea as to the level of squash in Egypt. In about 2013, Namibia hosted as Mena Walid hits a tin there. In 2013, Namibia hosted the All-African Championships. And all the African countries were here. South Africa arrived with an unbelievable team. They won all of their matches 3-love. Egypt came with a third-choice team, and they beat South Africa with their strongest choice team. Every single Egyptian beat the South African counterpart 3-love there as well.
7 right.
So the depth of squash in Egypt is unbelievable.
First game here, they're playing best out of 5. Still testing each other out a bit, Stephen, like usually is the case in first games.
Most definitely, and Donnie, you can hear it. Obviously, we're sitting behind a wall here with the screen in front of us, but you can hear the way that they're hitting the ball. They're timing it so cleanly, and it's just, you know, they're such strong players, and the way they're hitting the ball compared to a lot of the matches that we've seen throughout this tournament. And just listening to them, you can pick up that these are world-class players. Never mind what we're seeing on the screen.
Ashraf there tied the laces, and they continue now 5-all.
That's the third tin that Mena Walid's hit. I'm sure she won't be happy with that. If you take away those tins, which you want to get rid of as quickly as possible in your match. She was up 5-3 and she's hit 3 tins, and that's given Mariam Ashraf the chance to get back into this match, and she's now taken the lead up to 6-5.
Just for newcomers to the sport of squash, when Stephen says tin, it means the player hit that tin part below the red line in front. And Nick is the ball played into the corner.
Oh, great shot, Mariam Ashraf. She held that shot beautifully. She waited for Mena Walid to commit to the shot, and at the last split second she played a cross-court drop and put the ball, as you correctly called it, Dani, into the nick. And Mena Walid had no chance of fetching that ball.
And like in previous matches, Ashraf looking very good, very comfortable already.
Yes, let.
I'm sure that'll only be a let, yeah? There we go. Good call, ref.
Point have to be replayed now.
That's very minimal. Did they give a stroke?
8-5.
8-5.
It's an interesting call. Maybe they saw something we didn't see from the screen, yeah. Because the contact looked minimal on the screen.
And I think the incentive for Ashraf as well, being 123rd spots on the world ranking below Walid, that obviously she can improve that ranking a lot by beating Walid today.
Stroke ball.
There's a stroke there to Mena
Hand
Walid
up.
this time.
6-8.
Donnie, you're 100% right. So they don't get their ranking points aren't determined by the level of their opponent. Their ranking points are determined by their position that they finished in. So Mariam Ashraf will already gain some points for coming second at least. She'll definitely move up there, but if she wins this, I'm sure she'll move up a good few positions in the world rankings.
7 right.
Just not able to get to that ball. 8-7 now, just the 1 point difference. Mena Walid with the serve here. Sitting there, read by Ashraf, so it's 8-all. Going to the wire already in the first game of this match. They play to 11 points,
No leg.
but you have to have a clear lead of 2
Hand
points.
up. 9-8.
Yesterday in the semis, Mena Walid had to play 2 tiebreakers, and she won both of them.
Oh, what a shot. You can hear the crowd going, really appreciating that shot.
9-all.
That ball was probably half a millimeter above the tin. When it hit the ground, went straight into the nick, didn't bounce up. And that's ideally what you want to do at the end of the day.
Some support here, you could see there on the
Then,
stands
game
for
ball.
Egypt. The flag there, brought along again today. Nine all now. Someone has the opportunity here, either Walid or Ashraf. Take the first, get closer to winning the first game. They need 2 executive points now. Take the first set. Good rally starting to get going here. And then Walid hits the tin.
She won't be happy with that. She wasn't under any pressure there. It wasn't a bad shot by Mariam Ashraf, but she wasn't under pressure, and she would have expected to just continue with the rally there, just stick to the basics, and to hit a tin off a shot like that will be very frustrating, especially when she's game ball down.
So our scoreboard was 1 point behind there, 11-9. Ashraf takes the first game here, 11-9. So still very close. The first seed, Walid, against 7th seeded Ashraf in the BDO Namibian Open. We're going to visit the marketplace quickly, and then we'll be back with the second game.
a double trolley dash in our birthday promo while saving on these. 10 kg top score for $112.99. 2-liter original Coca-Cola for only $18.99. 1.5 kg real good mixed chicken for just $64.99. 750-gram Nola mayonnaise at $28.99. And 700ml all gold tomato sauce, also only $28.99. See the details of our incredible double trolley dash competition at vurmanbrock.com.
Mariam Ashraf there on your screen, winning the first game in this match. PSA, that's Professional Squash Association level here at the BDO Namibian Open. 11-9, that was the score. Remember to stay tuned. Right after this, it'll be the men's PSA final between the South African Damian Groenewald. He's ranked 4th in South Africa against Arigoke Onapemipu from Nigeria, first ranked in his country at the moment.
Everyone quiet, please.
So it'll be another great final. PSA Squash. Live from Windhoek Wanderers. With me, Stephen Berry. Stephen, do you think we will see the favorite Walid here, first seed in the tournament, coming back very quickly, already scoring the first point there?
Donnie, without a doubt, the player of Mena Walid's quality, I can't see her not coming back. I really doubt Miriam will win this 3-love. I'm sure Mena will come back and take a game or two, and I'm sure this game's going to go right down to the wire. I wouldn't be surprised if we get a 5-set here.
Applause there.
3-love.
We're also definitely going to see, once the match starts getting tighter and the players start getting more tired, exactly what I was busy about to say now. The players are going to start bumping into each other, start looking for those lets and strokes and hoping to get those strokes. And obviously put some pressure on the referee. It's a standard thing with the top players. If they find a weakness in the referee or find that there's a bit of inconsistency, then you will start seeing how they put pressure on him. But at the moment, the refereeing has been pretty strong. Not too many tough calls yet. So let's see how the rest of the match goes.
Ashraf getting back into the second game, only trailing with a point. And she has already played a 5-setter in the semi-finals yesterday against Rofiat Abdulaziz from Nigeria. And that was 11-9, 11-2, and then she lost 9-11. She went 11-4, 11-9 in the end. So in terms of stamina, having played a 5-setter before, Walid hasn't gone that distance yet.
4-2.
Might also count a bit in Ashraf's favor, Stephen.
Yeah, it's an interesting conversation. There's so many ways that one can look at it. You're 100% right in what you say. She's also, of the two, the slightly older one. So, it depends on how her body's holding up. I mean, they are playing at altitude, which neither of them are probably too used to. Whereas Miriam Ashraf is the younger one, the more youthful one, so body still recovers a little bit quicker. But with that said, they are still both young and they're both super fit. So I can't see that fitness will be too much of a problem. Because remember, this is what they do full-time, all day, every day. They train for this kind of stuff. They train for that 5th set in the 5th match of a tournament. So the bodies might not be 100%, but I'm sure they've trained enough to make sure that they can get through these kinds of matches.
6-2.
It's Walid pulling ahead now, 6 points to 2, 4-point difference.
Very good length there by Miriam Ashraf, putting Mena Walid under pressure at the backhand corner there. Remember, Miriam Ashraf is a left-handed player, so the dynamics of the way the players play in a situation like this also changes. Oh, Mena Walid, it's not the first time she's played a loose shot off at a critical time. Hitting the tin off a serve like that is not what you want to be doing at this level.
And she's letting Ashraf back into the second game here, 6-4. Lead only 2 points now.
Stop. 5-6.
5. Another point won there by Ashraf. Smaller of the two players here. But
She's going to ask for a let there, but I don't know if she's going to get it.
7-5.
Yeah, she wasn't in a position to get that ball, so she's not even arguing. But again, you can see she did test the ref and she did ask him. Gave the correct call and no argument from Miriam there.
way things stand, Walid looking to take the second match, which will make it, or second game, sorry, will make it 1 set each.
Again, the ball coming out of the nick there.
8-5.
Not much of a bounce.
Right.
That's the most common way of getting your points in this on this court at this altitude with the heat and humidity. The way the ball's bouncing, you pretty much have to hit the nick more often than you normally would.
It's a hard ball there.
9-5.
Ashraf couldn't get there. Walid stretching it to 9-5 now. 2 points, and then she will have the set in the bag. It's Ashraf clearly fighting back hard. She wants to get back into this game.
See Miriam Ashraf raising her hand there, querying the pickup of the ball.
10-5, game ball.
Ref deeming the pickup good, so there wasn't a double bounce. They carried on with the rally. Mena Walid carried on. She won the point there, and she takes it to 10-5, which looks like it's going to take the match to 1-1. Oh, and she serves it into the corner. No bounce. She apologizes to her opponent.
She gets the game ball and makes sure of it, winning the second game in this match, 11-5. Lost the first one, 9-11. 1 each now in terms of the games. So it'll be crucial for either player, Stephen, to win the next game.
Yeah, 100%. You want to go into that game, once you go into the fourth set, you want to be the player that goes into the game with momentum. So whoever wins this match, this next set will obviously go into the fourth with that momentum and that confidence, and the other player will obviously want to realize that she needs to play catch-up, which does add to the pressure, especially in a situation like this, in a final, in front of a full stand. I think both girls are going to come out all guns blazing in the next set.
Now, earlier we said it might count in Mariam Ashraf's favor that she had to play a 5-setter in the quarterfinals. Walid winning all 3 matches, 3-love. But like you said, Stephen, you know, it can count against you as well, because physically it might have tapped you more, taken more out of you. And then Walid, the first seed, will have the opportunity. We will take a short commercial break, and then we'll be back with you.
Muscle and joint pain.
Walid to serve.
Back with the third game now. Players getting ready to start. Walid with the first serve here.
Squash, and it's difficult to tell them apart. Mena Walid has taken the lead now, but she has played a couple of loose shots, which she won't be happy about. Most of the points that she's won, she has beaten Miriam Ashraf with great shots. Miriam hasn't played that many or made that many mistakes. Oh, there she went for the nick and she takes it. That was a deliberate shot, and that's what she was aiming for.
Ashraf clearly motivating herself there, getting back into this third game. It's Ashraf playing in the yellow shirt, and Walid in the blue. It's 2-2 now, yes. And then another
That's a
point
fantastic
going
shot
away.
there from Miriam. She says it's good. Mena Walid says it was down. The referee deemed it down, and Mena Walid gets the point there. So that should take the score to 3-2, I believe.
In the favor of Walid.
I'm sure she'll only get a let for that. Yeah, that's a fair call. The ball was tight. It was bouncing, and it It makes it difficult to give a no-let in Windhoek when the ball's bouncing so much, because players can pretty much always get to the ball.
It was Ashraf pleading very kindly with the referee there on that call.
Very good shot there from Mena Walid, and that's exactly what I said previously. Most of the points that Miriam Ashraf has won, she's had to win them. Wana Walid has done the same, but she's given away a couple of points by playing loose shots into the tin when she wasn't under pressure.
Not being able to get there to the back
Score
of
moves
the
up to
court.
5-2 now.
5-2 in the favor of Walid. In previous games we saw, however, that Ashraf...
It's a fantastic shot there by Miriam Ashraf. Putting a nice wide ball there, making sure it gets around Wena Walid. And then once it bounced out of the corner, she was in big trouble.
Stayed in touch and won the first game. Let's see if she'll do the same in the third set here. Again, asking the referee there for let.
You'll notice the pace has picked up, but as we expected it to happen, obviously being a final and being at 1-1, they both want to make sure that they get the rights to win this next set. So there's a lot of pushing and shoving, and you can expect a lot more of that to make sure that they get direct access to the ball. And if there's anything obstructing them, they'll take advantage of that, probably bump into their opponent and try and get a stroke out of that and win the point by obviously saving a bit of energy.
6-3 now, the lead for Walid, 3 points ahead. He will try to pull away.
Oh,
Hand out.
Mena Walid hit the ball out there. Couldn't quite see that on the camera. Ball hit the line above, hit the wall above the outline. So Miriam still in this at 4-6. Oh, caught Miriam off guard there.
Hand out. 7-4.
7-4 to Mena Walid. Mena Walid's definitely taking advantage of her extra length that she has. You'll notice that she's cutting off a lot more balls before they get to the back glass. Obviously that is an advantage of having that extra length. Miriam has to always take that extra step to get to the ball. And obviously the more you can volley the ball, the more pressure you'll be putting your opponent under. So that's what Mena Walid's doing, and she's doing it very well.
Continuing to volley. And then a lower shot. A low shot back there by Ashraf.
Hand out. 8-5.
And the point going to Walid now. Adding another one. Taking the lead to 8-5.
Oh, she went for it again. That's the second time in this game where she deliberately played that nick shot. You can hear someone in the crowd shouting, "Smoking." Great shot there by Miriam Ashraf.
Going for the corner very quickly after the serve.
Hand out.
Not wanting to get involved in a long rally. Was I think there Walid, like you said, might have the advantage.
Oh no. I think that's the first
10-6 game ball.
tin I can remember Miriam Ashraf hitting.
It's game ball for Mena Walid. First seeded player with the ladies PSA at the BDO Namibian Open. She finishes it off, taking the third game, 11-6. Stephen leading now, 2-1. So she can finish it off if she wants to in the next game.
Well, I'm sure she wants to, but tell you what, Miriam's going to come out and she's not going to give it away. She's going to make sure that it's not an easy game. It's not a walk in the park, because she wants this just as badly. So let's hope that Miriam Ashraf can put up a big fight and turn this into a 5 set and make it exciting for the crowd, because the level of squash has been good this evening. So we'll see you in the fourth set. Sorry.
We're warming up for the fourth game here, and I think in Namibia a lot of us has exchanged our blue jerseys for the green one. That's not the Irish shirt, it's the one with the gold and the springbok on the chest. Great rugby, of course, waiting on the whole world this evening. Ireland, first ranked country in the world, playing the second ranked Springboks from South Africa. And we'll need to pace ourselves for that one. So we're going to take a short break, Stephen, and then we'll be back with the fourth game.
The next days are not a measurement of time, but the distance from here to the finish line. For the race you are running, for your kids, your career, your health, your future. Not away, but towards it. While the voice in your head reminds you it won't be easy. But by simply swinging your feet towards the floor, you've taken the first step.
Welcome back. BDO Namibian Open. You're looking at PSA Ladies Squash here. Fourth game now between the two Egyptians, Mena Walid and Mariam Ashraf. Walid in the blue.
Don't go to the player. Go to the ball.
The other player, Ashraf, calling for a lead there, saying she was obstructed. Decision doesn't, the point played over then.
Hand out, one love.
Won by Ashraf, taking the lead early here, 1-love. Fully packed stand here at the BDO court at Wanderers in Windhoek.
Stroke ball, 2-love.
Stephen, yes, I think a lot of the local spectators absolutely in awe, It's a great opportunity to see squash at this level.
It really is. And everyone's really enjoying it, really loving it. There's a lot of spectators sitting on the pavilion. I just had a look now that weren't playing in the tournament.
Stroke ball.
I'm assuming that'll be a stroke.
2-all.
Sounds like it. There we go. So yeah, so a lot of people from all walks of life have turned out for this match. I see there's a few Egyptians in the crowd. The Egyptian flag is out again.
They're going at each other, full out again, 2 points each. It's a crucial game, this.
Stroke there to Miriam Ashraf. See, that's the issue there, is Mena Walid. She stood her ground, but she needs to make an effort to clear the ball and give a clear path to her opponent, which didn't happen there. Hence the referee calling that a stroke.
She's back immediately, 3-all.
Oh,
and then
again,
she hits the tin.
That's not the first time. I think that's about the 5th time that she's hit a tin when she's not under pressure.
Unforced errors on the first seat.
Great cross court there.
Hand out.
Playing the cross court towards Miriam Ashraf's backhand, making her stretch that extra little bit further with the second bouncing in the corner.
They're really neck and neck here, 4 points each. Fourth game.
A lot of cross courts going on in this round. Oh, there we go. Now they're starting to straighten it up. It was in essence actually a very good rally. Mixed it up very nicely, some very good cross courts, and then they went back to the driving game.
Ashraf just not getting there. Again asking for a let here.
Come to the ball. Don't go to
She's
it.
in my line, she says.
6,
Blocking
4.
my line.
The referee calling it a no-let, telling Miriam Ashraf that she needs to make more of an effort. The referee deeming that she's playing the player and not the ball enough. She needs to make more effort to get the ball, hence the referee giving a no-let in that occasion.
7 right.
Third time now in this match that Mariam Ashraf goes down to tie the laces.
Be continuous,
Do you think
please.
maybe it's also something she uses to think a bit, slow things down a
Most
bit?
definitely. We heard the referee just shouting to her now that she needs to keep play continuous, and they feel that she's starting to
7,
waste
4.
time. So I feel if she does that again, she'll probably get a conduct warning.
Seven for first seed Walid in the lead here. Fourth game.
Out.
Another good rally here, but then the
8,
point given
4.
to Walid, 8-4.
Miriam Ashraf really will have to pull her rabbit out the hat now. She's falling behind. And she's got a lot of catching up. Oh no. Great shot there by Manu Walid.
9,
But I think
4.
this is the beginning of the end for Miriam Ashraf. She's going to have to really pull something out now. But she just can't seem to break Manu Walid's arm at the moment. There we go. Match ball.
10, 4.
She's got 6
Game
match
ball.
balls
7
now.
left. Match ball, sorry. 7 left.
Serving from the left. That's obviously one of the rules of squash for the people that don't know that. When you serve, every serve has to alternate from the other side. So if you serve from the right-hand side, your next serve needs to be from the left side. Oh, Miriam.
One final unforced error there.
She managed to go so far without hitting any tins, but right at the end there, I think the pressure got to her. And it was a fantastic game. You can hear the crowd giving her a fantastic round of applause. Mena Walid walking away with the BDO PSA Division Ladies Trophy for 2023.
Well deserved. She was the first seeded player in the ladies PSA at the BDO Namibian Open, taking the prize then in the final in this part of the competition. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back a bit later towards 5 o'clock with the men's PSA final between South Africa's Damian Groenewald. He will be playing Adegoke Onapemipo from Nigeria. So still some great squash waiting on you this afternoon. Network television coming to you live from Windhoek Wanderers. We'll be back. Here at the moment is 6-3. Still in the favor of Ashraf, second set.
And obstructing the front wall from her. But yeah, it does make the scoring of
5-1 in favor of Groenewald.
increase the longevity of your career. Great pickup by David Groenewald. I almost thought Leugo had hit the winner there, but that was a great fetch, and he's back into this rally. And
well, he's serving there, getting the ball into the corner again.
Tries to give Danae a bit more of a...
Now it's 4-3.
Points. He's going to try and push these rallies to get his fitness lacquer there. 4 points. He's going to try and push these rallies to get his fitness lacquer there.
2-1.
Both players quite tall. Those long legs, obviously, if you're shorter, you have to run.
And it is wonderful to see this many people here. It's a big crowd, and for us it's a great honor to have the first ever PSA tournament in Namibia.
I mean, it's a huge tournament. We have the likes of the wonderful teams that we all know all the way from Egypt. How stiff or how tight do you see the competition that we have going on here today based off the players that came in?
Well, it's anyone's game. Our number one seed on the ladies' side won the Joburg Open last week, so she's fresh from a good win there. On the men's side, there's a lot of stiff competition. A lot of the guys have played each other, but there's a lot of unknown factors as well.
Like you just said, the number one ranked, she is here. How good is it for Namibia to have to be exposed to athletes of that caliber? Like, I mean, number one, it's not easy to be in that sport, and to be here around Namibians, how good is it for us?
For us, this is huge. For the Namibian squash, this is something we've dreamed of literally since independence, to have a professional tournament in Namibia, and finally it's come through. So it's really huge. It's going to be big for our squash players, for our own players, and for the development of the game in total.
Well, the Egypt ambassador of Namibia is here with us. Just tell us, how long are we going to be here for the viewers that are watching from home? Where can they come tune in and all of that?
Well, we'll be live on air until Saturday evening when the finals will be. For those who want to come and watch in person, it's at Wanderers in Pioneers Park. There will be squash every morning from at least 7 or 8 in the morning up until I think Friday night until 8, Saturday until about 6 o'clock. But brilliant squash, brilliant action, and love to see everyone here.
Brilliant squash, brilliant action. We'd love to see everyone here. Well, that's the word from the Vice President himself. Do stay tuned. There's more squash coming your way.
Court will be back on NTV and our other platforms tomorrow, same time. So tune in again for some excellent squash.
It takes heart and all the soul. A head stuck in the game. It takes every bone in your body, all the blood in your veins. And then more blood and more sweat.
We just won the PSA Women's Division. Mena, I know you played against a friend of yours, but just tell us, how tough was that match? You lost the first set, but just tell me, how tough was the match?
Yeah, it's always difficult when playing Egypt vs Egypt. So yeah, I didn't find my shots at the beginning. I didn't feel well while I'm playing, but I managed to get the win.
Well, you see, today's not that hot. Yesterday also wasn't that hot, so I don't think you have a reason to complain about the heat today. But all in all, how do you feel about your time in Namibia? How do you feel about winning the PSA, the finals yourself?
Yeah, I'm so happy I won my second title here in Namibia. And it's my first time here in Namibia, but maybe not the last time, yeah.
Okay, well, thank you for your time and congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, well, you heard it's not her first time, it's not her last. Hopefully it's not her last time in Namibia. We do still have a few more interviews that we'll be bringing to you, but please make sure to stay tuned, and we will be right with you shortly.
It takes heart and all the soul. A head stuck in the game. It takes every bone in your body, all the blood in your veins. And then more blood and more sweat, more tears, all your hopes and your dreams. It takes conquering fears. It's late nights and weekends, 6 to 6s, 9 to 5s. It takes sacrifice and suffering every moment of our lives. It takes kick after kick, being kicked when you're down. It takes fighting for hours for inches of ground. It takes every last line out, every last second spent. It takes absolute devotion. It takes 100%.
Muscle and joint pain should not be the reason you can't perform at your best. Norflex Gel. It also shouldn't be the reason you miss that important deadline. Norflex Gel. Or miss those precious moments that matter the most. Norflex Gel. Norflex Gel penetrates through the skin, numbing the area and relieving pain and inflammation. Norflex Gel is now available in the pharmacy aisle and in supermarkets. New Norflex Gel Fort is available for stronger anti-inflammatory action.
Beat the pain with Norflex Gel.
Win a double trolley dash in our birthday promo while saving on these. 10 kg top score for $112.99. 2-liter original Coca-Cola for only $18.99. 1.5 kg real good mixed chicken for just $64.99. 750-gram Nola mayonnaise at $28.99. And 700 ml all gold tomato sauce, also only $28.99. See the details of our incredible double trolley dash competition at vurmanbrock.com.
Okay, well, we are joined by Well Lofty, ambassador of Egypt to Namibia. Well, just tell us, you just saw your fellow Egyptians playing here against each other. How are you enjoying the time and how are you enjoying the PSA here at Wanderers Squash?
Everything is lovely. I must congratulate the organizers and Mr. Steven. And we want more of this in Namibia. I wish I can cheer every week for African players, regardless from where. Regardless, we are happy. We had two fantastic young ladies today, two butterflies playing, showing their skills, showing their good sportsmanship. So I'm very happy to have witnessed such occasion.
I see you have the flag here in show of support, making sure that you stay supporting. Just wave it to the.
Many Egyptians attending with their flags, but I don't know why you guys picked me up.
Well, I actually saw you first, but all in all, it was a good game that we saw here. Congratulations to MENA for winning. But how important do you think it is for Namibia to host events like this, where we have players out of other countries coming in here to compete?
Namibia is a very special place. It deserves more publicity, more attention, because you have great potential, like I said. And I am sure we will be witnessing, now that COVID is finally over, thank God, we will be seeing more and more of Namibia.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
Well, there you had it from the man himself with the flag here, and I'm just honored to be in his presence. He is the Egypt ambassador to Namibia. Well, we still have one more final left, so you guys should stay tuned for this one.
NAMRAD strives to provide the best radiological care. We keep up to date with new technology, and with our state-of-the-art department, all radiology services are provided at one convenient location. You can find them at Lady Pohamba Private Hospital, corner of Frankie Fredericks and Umbika Street, Climate.
Fourth seed in this tournament. How did they get here? Groenewald, the young South African, defeating Johan Corneille Brandt, also from South Africa, in his first match by default. And then he dispatched the favorite in this tournament, the first seeded player from Egypt, Abdel Khalek, with 3-0, 3-love. So an unexpected victory, but Groenewald looking good in his previous matches. And in the semi-finals yesterday, he also beat Gabriel Olofin Milayu from Nigeria, 3-love. Olofin Milayu was seeded third in this tournament. So Groenewald took care of two players seated above him at the Namibian Open in the PSA. How did Onao Pemipo from Nigeria progress to the final? He beat Janray Olivier from Namibia, the 13th seed, 3-love. And after that, Luan Groenewald, that is Damian Groenewald, which you shortly see in action. That's his brother. Onao Pemipo beat him by 3-1. Groenewald, the other one, Luan, was seeded 12th. And then yesterday in the semi-finals, Onao Pemipo beat South Africa's Dew Divine Mkize, 3-love. Mkize was seeded 10th. So this is going to be a humdinger probably between the 6th and the 4th seeds in the men's PSA. Great tournament. the last 4 days, sponsored by BDO, the main sponsors of the Namibian Squash Open. And also outside, away from court, the Namibians really talking a lot about the squash. They're seeing the first time PSA players are battling it out here in Windhoek, the Namibian capital. And the winners in the men's B division, the winner there was Philip Musondo from Zambia. Unfortunately, Andrew Forrest from Namibia had to retire in that match due to an injury. So it went the way of Musondo, even though Forrest were up the Namibian with 2-0. And the ladies' A division was won by Danae van Zyl, the youngster from now South Africa. She played for Namibia before that, and she beat Linda Marie Karlitz from Namibia 3-love. And the champion at this year's Open in the men's A division is Farouk Sulaiman from Nigeria. He beat Nukamba Mushinda from Zambia 3-0. Those the results here from this 4 days of lovely squash in Windhoek. Just the latest news for you, if you don't know yet. On Monday the 25th, there was supposed to start a 4-nation tournament here at the same courts between Namibia, South Africa, Zimbabwe and Zambia. Already on Wednesday, the Zimbabweans withdrew from the competition unexpectedly, and yesterday Zambia also pulled out. So Namibia and South Africa will continue on Monday. The format of the competition will be adjusted slightly. Already a lot of expenses to the Namibian and South African Squash Associations. They've awarded colors to the players already as well, and that's why it's important to continue with the tournament. Apart from the costs, if you've capped a player, you would want them to retain the colors awarded before an international tournament. So from Monday, it will still be great squash here from at Wanderers, and also a great atmosphere outside. A lot of people rocking up to Wanderers for the remaining Rugby World Cup matches. England playing Tonga this afternoon, and then the big one at 9 o'clock, the Irish against South Africa. There are people actually talking a lot of rugby here at the squash as well. Rugby also a big sport here in Namibia. Squash wants to grow much more, and by getting a PSA tournament going in the country for the first time is of course one of the ways to do that. I plan to get even more international players at next year's Namibian Open. Also, the local referees from Namibia upgraded their skills to be able to officiate at PSA level matches. That's some more development taking place for this sport locally. A bit of a niche sport. They really want to get into the schools as well. A limited number of courts in Windhoek, of course. You might want to do some more infrastructure development. Stephen Berry is back with me, and like I just said, you know, you guys want to get into the schools to get younger players involved. And I suppose for that to happen, there will also have to be some additional infrastructure, some more courts available.
Yeah, Donnie, it's a challenge. It really is a challenge. I think everyone knows what the problem is. I think the issue is finding that solution at this stage. You know, if you look at the schools in South Africa, how much bigger they are, how much more money those schools have, you know, because to build a squash court is extremely expensive. The floor alone is over $100,000.
Sure.
Then you got to put up a wall, but it's not just brick and paint. It's brick and paint and obviously a special kind of plaster, because it has to take a lot of high impact, because your ball, how do I explain it? It's kind of like a plunger. So when the ball hits the wall, it kind of sucks every time it hits. You know, it doesn't just bounce off. It sucks off the wall, and it's continuously sucking at the paint and the plaster. So you need a very strong kind of plaster, which is also very expensive. And that kind of, I think sponsors in Namibia for something like squash is very difficult, because it's an individual sport, and it also doesn't bring in the numbers of spectators that the team sports have. And I don't think the schools are too interested in squash. I'm not sure why. I mean, I suppose tennis is the only individual sport that schools normally have, but that's probably a cheaper sport in terms of facilities to maintain. You probably need the right parents and the right financial backing to build squash courts at a school, and you'd also need the right interest, which is difficult. It's really difficult. In South Africa, they have the numbers to back that up. So it is a challenge. There are some guys, I'm not sure if they're in the screen now, I saw them a little bit earlier, who come from Chumeb, and they're planning on building squash courts at Chumeb Gymnasium. That's obviously where they come from, but now because the squash scene in Chumeb is quite dead, they've moved down here for their squash while they run their business up in Chumeb. So I hope that comes off. That'll be fantastic for squash in Namibia if Chumeb Gymnasium does get their own squash courts, and hopefully that sort of becomes, they set the trend, and the other schools in Namibia start taking part in doing this as well. Obviously, Wanderers is part of Windhoek Afrikaans private school. Their sports grounds are at the back of Wanderers, so the VUP children do get to use Wanderers as squash courts, but they're the only school. So it is a challenge.
4 courts here at Wanderers. It's the biggest squash courts in Namibia. And I think just finally, before we start talking about this great match coming, obviously, you know, if Chumeb gets courts, people from Grootfontein, it's also close by. They can go and play. So it's important to get facilities into the larger towns. We do have courts at the coast, at Swakopmund.
And I mean, let's be honest, squash isn't necessary, or doesn't have to be an expensive sport to play. It's not like playing golf or cricket or, you know, those kinds of sports. You can get very affordable rackets for 450 to 500 Namibian dollars at places like Game and Mr. Price Sports. You obviously get the expensive ones. I can see Dievel's playing with the Technifiber X top there. That racket goes for about 3,300. But then you're talking top of the range. But if children want to start playing squash, you go to Mr. Price Sports, you go to Game, and you get the entry-level rackets, and that's good enough, especially to start off with. And the same with the shoes. You don't need $2,000 shoes. You do get them, but you can start off with your normal $200-300 shoes, and they'll last you a year or two until the kids obviously outgrow them. So it's not an expensive sport. It is expensive to maintain, obviously, in terms of the facilities. But with regards to playing the sport, you know, squash balls, $150. You get 3 balls, and they'll last you for a long time if you look after them. So it's not an expensive sport. So hopefully this coverage from this tournament will encourage a lot of youngsters to start taking part in this wonderful sport.
We have a lot of talented Namibian players, and exposure to the top-level game will assist them. Now, Damian Groenewald carries his name proudly on his back there. He's from South Africa, plays for the Sandton Squash Club, I believe, ranked 4th in South Africa. And between these two players, the difference in their world rankings are 49 places. Arigoki on now Pemipo, now on the left of your screen. He's ranked 244th in the world at the moment, ranked first in Nigeria. And Groenewald ranked 293rd in the world. We already told you how they got into the finals. And Stephen, you saw Damian Groenewald playing before this final as well. Looking very good, very focused. I think he wants to make this title his own. But it's going to be tough against a higher seeded and higher ranked player from Nigeria.
Yeah, look, I think Arigoki is going to have the support. There's quite a lot of Nigerians taking part in this tournament, and they're really supporting each other. They're very loud. They're very enthusiastic about their players. So that's going to definitely help Arigoki get through this. But Damian Groenewald, wow, what a talent! We watched him at the IPTs, the Interprovincials in Pretoria, in June this year, where Namibia took part. And the finals of that tournament was Northerns against the South African country districts, which is a sort of a mix of all the smaller provinces like Northwest and Boland and etc. And Damian was the number 2 for the Northerns team, along with Ruan Olivier, was the number 1. I think SACD's just won that in the end, but obviously they've got the Dewald van Niekerk and JP Brits in their team too, who are exceptional squash players. But Damian had to play against Dewald Potgieter against JP Brits, and watching him play was something else. He was phenomenal, and no, under correction, he did play against Dewald, and he was brilliant. He was absolutely brilliant.
An age gap here of 4 years between the players. Damian Groenewald, the younger player, 19 years of age. Or now Pemipo, already 23 years old. So he's got that little bit more experience. And like we said, Groenewald showing a lot of focus in this tournament. And that is the toss. They'll come out very quickly before they start with the first game in this match.
So the South African number 1, who we'll see at the Test Nation at the Test Series next week, is Dewald van Niekerk. Now, the level of squash that Dewald is at the moment compared to the rest of South Africans is he hasn't dropped a single set against any fellow South Africans in the last 3 years.
Sure.
But recently, I think it was the SA Nationals. Dewald and Damian played against each other. He pushed Dewald to the 5th set. So he's the first South African in 3 years to take Dewald van Niekerk to a 5th set. And he's only 19 years old. Dewald, I think, is 26. He's been playing on the PSA circuit overseas for over a year now, where he is coached by Nick Matthews from England, who is a former world number 1. So his squash has really escalated, and even after that, at 19 years old, Damian was able to take 2 sets off Dewald van Niekerk. So he's got youth on his side, he's got skill on his side, he's got pure raw talent on his side. So Arigoki has got his work cut out for him, but all the matches that we watched of him, he's also absolutely dominated his opponent with pure skill. And he's also a very, very talented squash player who's happy to spend hours on court. Really, he just loves the game, and he's got such a passion. He's coached a lot of the Namibian juniors while he's been here. So I think we're in for a real treat of squash over the next 45 minutes or so.
Now Pemipo, a bit taller, looked very comfortable playing in his previous matches, and they're off here. Let's see who will take the first point there. Already Groenewald having to stretch there to get to the ball.
Stroke against Damian Groenewald there, but if you watch Damian Groenewald, when he hits the tee, when he hits the ball, he moves back to the tee, and he has a little spring in his step. And that is what really helps him accelerate and get to the ball so much quicker. And he does it more predominantly than what Arigoki does. So I think that gives him a real benefit for him going to the ball and moving across the court, because he's so quick. He really is quick across the court.
And Pemipo up with 2 love now. Groenewald also a more stocky player, which, you know, he has strength. He pulls back the point.
Heard the crowd really appreciating that shot there from Damian Groenewald. Arigoki raising his hand there, just querying, asking the ref to make sure, if you're sure if the pickup from Damian Groenewald was good. Ref said play on, so obviously he was happy that the ball had only bounced once.
Testing each other there on the left side, and then Groenewald changing the direction. They're back on the left wall. Now cat and mouse game continues.
Oh, good shot there from Arigoki. Damian Groenewald obviously asking for a let, but he was nowhere close. But you see how he mixes his shots up there. The previous shot from Damian Groenewald, he played a good top spinner, swinging the strings over the ball, playing a nice little lob there. Damian capitalizing on that loose shot there from Arigoki. Score now 2-3. Arigoki in the lead.
Just a 1 point difference. First game at the BDO Namibian Open PSA men's final.
Down.
Groenewald hitting the tin there also.
4-2.
An unforced error. He would tell himself he could have done better there. And now Pemipo back with a 2 point lead.
Damian going for the nick there, cross court, just slightly missing out. Arigoki managed to get it out. Oh, then he hits the tin from there.
Almost a replay of the previous point.
4.
On our Pemipo this time. Not able to keep the ball in. Groenewald pulls one back. Just 1 point behind now. Not getting the ball up there. Shaking his head.
Now Damian Groenewald won't be happy with that. Just a shout out to all our listeners that are tuning in on the Facebook page. Arigoki again returning with a shot that he won't be happy with. I'm not sure if this is nerves, but of pressure maybe, final pressure. Arigoki trying to reset there.
Clearly that in the body language as well. Wiping the hand over the face, and they back off now. Playing for the 10th point in this match.
Damian doesn't look very happy with the pickup there. He's raised his hands a few times. Definitely not happy with the pickup there. The crowd was very happy. You can hear the Nigerian supporters really appreciating that rally from Arigoki.
6-4 in the lead, so Groenewald still very close.
6-4.
Asking for the score there just to make sure. Groenewald.
I wonder if Arigoki's picked something up with Damian's game, because he's done a couple of those serves where he serves towards Damian Groenewald's forehand, forcing him to turn around and play it off the backhand. So he's obviously done a bit of watching the live streams, checking his game out, seeing if he's got any weaknesses.
7-4. It's a lead for Arno Pemipo.
Damian Groenewald slipping a bit there. Good delay hold.
And he said yesterday the delay shot works very well for Groenewald.
He's got an absolutely brilliant delay and hold, and he really goes for those nicks. He plays them very aggressively. I think he loves the fact that the nick on the BDO court is as big as it is.
Yes, let.
Let call. Damian Groenewald's not happy with that, but I do believe that that was the right call. Arigoki had cleared.
7.
But he's still in there, trailing with only 2 points. Groenewald repeating the serve.
Damien Groenewald hitting that ball millimeters above the tin. Adegoke unable to get to that.
Again, the rally starting here on the left. And the Nigerian changing direction. Now Groenewald doing the same. Cross court. A longer rally starting to develop now.
Yes, left.
Groenewald asking for the lead.
7 left.
I think what Damien querying the call. He's obviously hoping for a stroke. I see the smile there, so he was probably fishing a little bit. But yeah, he did run into Adegoke. I'm not sure if he would have got there, and I think the ref felt the same, and that's why only a let was given and not a stroke. Adegoke quite a bit taller than Damien Groenewald, so he's got a good reach. Oh, he went for the side spin shot there. Damien Groenewald apologizing for running into him. And unfortunately, if you've played the shot, you played the shot.
The two players getting a bit more in each way now in the last couple of balls. Groenewald making it 7 all now.
I think a couple of our Namibian players will be watching this game with a lot of interest. We've got a few players that enjoy playing their squash in a very similar style to Damien. We're going for the Knicks.
7 all.
We've got two players by the name of Andy Fourie and Jason Forrest who come to mind, who are very talented squash players, and they'll really enjoy the way that he goes for these Knicks and how regularly he hits them.
You're playing the player, not the ball. The ball is behind the player.
Call there from the referee is a no-let, telling the player that he was playing the ball, the player, apologies, and he should play the ball instead of the player.
But he's checking the whole time there.
8-7.
8-7 now. Groenewald.
So Groenewald getting the stroke there. Adegoke arguing with the ref, asking him if it's not the same issue as the previous one. He felt that Groenewald was playing the player and not the ball.
I think Groenewald will have his tail up if he can take the first game here.
Certainly. Let call there. Just replayed the point. That was obviously held his shot for safety.
We yesterday saw that as well. On our Pemipo, talking to himself, shouting. The loudest shout yesterday came when he beat Mkhize at the end.
So that's just a let, yeah? Good call.
9-7, 7 right.
He was clearly out of his swing, and you could see Adegoke extended his swing there to try and get Groenewald into his swing. And that's when the refs need to really be on the lookout and make sure he extended his swing into an unnatural swing. Groenewald did obviously run into his swing, but the ref deemed it, let's call it an abnormal swing.
9-7.
A lot of talking to the referee. A lot of queries because there's a lot at stake here.
Fantastic shot there by Damien Groenewald.
10-7, game ball.
That takes him to 10-7. You can hear old Herlu Pretorius in the crowd there shouting "Smoking" for a great shot.
Game ball.
Oh, very good counter drop there by Adegoke. The crowd really appreciating that.
8-10, game ball.
Nigerian
scores then
is much more vocal here.
8-10. Oh, That was nasty. The crowd really enjoying that. You can hear that everyone cheering for that shot. Cross-court Nick. There was nothing in that, nothing Adegoke could do to react to that shot.
Close first game here in the men's PSA finals at the BDO Namibian Open. Groenewald taking the first game here. They're going to play best out of 5. Thanks for joining Network Television Sport Wrap on our social media. Tell us what you think and where you are watching from. Me and Stephen Berry, or Stephen Berry and I, that's the proper English. We'll be back shortly. We'll be back now with the second game in the men's PSA final at the BDO Namibia Open. Damian Groenewald, the South African, taking the first game 11-8. Like we already told you, he eliminated the first seeded Abdel Khalik from Egypt with 3-love.
Damian leads 1 game to love.
Now the difference in the world rankings between the first seeded Abdel Khalik and Groenewald was 127 places. That's a long way. And he's now playing against a player that's ranked 49 places above him. And he would want to take the second game here as well, to put him into that position to take the title. The first PSA men's and ladies titles up for grabs.
And out, 1 love.
And Stephen, we can see already start of the second game, a lot more pace in the play.
Yeah, they've definitely changed it up a little bit. I think Damian's going to try and be a little bit more unpredictable and try and catch his opponent off guard with a few shots. As you saw, he started with that sort of reverse post that he did there, which I don't think anyone was expecting. Scores now 1-1.
Winning shot, too good.
Groenewald asking for the lead.
I don't think he'll get a lead there.
Yes, late.
A lot of pushing and shoving going on there.
He can still get it. Interference, play a late.
2-1.
Groenewald will also have to be aware not to get too frustrated.
2-1.
Keeping his focus, which we clearly saw yesterday.
Double bounce there. Adegoke unable to pick that up. That should be 2-2 now. That's Damian, you can see giving the referee a lot to think about, but so far the ref has been very, very consistent with his calls. Leeuw van Rooyen, he was Damian Groenewald's opponent in the very first match of the tournament. Damien trying to sneak underneath Adegoke's arm there, but the ball was quite dead in the back corner.
3-2.
He wanted to hit the ball back off the glass wall, back to the front wall, but unfortunately, see, he's done that several times already, Adegoke, so it's obviously a tactic that he's picked up, I'm assuming, while watching Damien Groenewald, because I haven't seen him playing those shots throughout the tournament, but that's the third or fourth time he's played it this evening.
Like Stephen has said already, the taller player having that advantage. If he volleys to the back, sometimes easier for him to play the return shot than for a shorter player.
Yes, let.
Let.
Yes, let.
Called by the referee.
Serving right.
3-all. They will replay this point now.
Fetch there by Adegoke.
Stroke to Adegoke. I am to Groenewald.
Push in the back again there by Groenewald.
4-3.
4-3. Groenewald gets that point.
Not quite sure who the call went for there. I'm guessing he gave the stroke to Groenewald.
Yes, that was the decision by the referee. 4-3 to Groenewald. And now Pemipo taking a short break there. And now he's back.
Oh, he won't be happy with that one.
Hand out.
You can see he drops his head in frustration. It was actually a good rally up till that point. Oh no.
Down.
Looking at the racket now.
It's always the racket's fault, it's never the player's fault.
5-4.
Oh no, Damien, that's 3 tins in a row. He won't be happy with himself.
4.
You can see him talking to himself, trying to get his head right, trying to figure out what he's doing wrong.
4-6. Groenewald won both his previous 3 matches, 3 love. Now Pemipo had to go 3-1, played one more game in his quarter-final match.
That just shows you the small margins. Damien Groenewald was up 4-3, and then he gave away 3 silly points where he wasn't under pressure, hitting the tin, and he surrendered the lead at that stage. He's still 1 point behind now.
He's getting back into it straight away. He'll want to make it level now in the second game. Again hitting the tin. His
And
racket
out.
hit the back wall there, I think.
7-5.
Telling himself how he felt about that. Not very happy. Again, a 2-point lead for Onau Pemipo.
Stroke to Groenewald.
And
That's
Jaden
the right call.
complaining that he's being shoved in the back.
It is the right call. He needs to clear the ball, and he made no effort to clear it. But I mean, he was playing, returning a loose ball. So Damien probably milked it. If he really wanted to, he probably could have got around it, but he saw the opportunity, and he made sure that he pushed for that stroke. And he got it. Nice patient squash now, looking for the right lengths, waiting for their opponent to make a mistake. Oh, what a boast there by Adegoke. The man all the way from Nigeria.
8-6.
You could hear the appreciation from the crowd, and that kind of shot is always a confidence booster.
Groenewald also applauding that shot.
Oh, some really good shots going on here.
And now 7-8.
Still only 1 point in it, Stephen.
Damien Groenewald really taking advantage of a slightly shorter shot there by Arigoki. And just putting in a dead drop shot on the backhand corner there. Now they'll go back to basics and try and work each other again. Oh, good pickup. Oh, the Arigoki. He stopped. I thought he was saying it was a double bounce, but...
Ladies and gentlemen, before the match I ask for silence between the rallies. Please respect the players.
Okay, so I guess they're going to play a roulette there because the crowd gasped at the shot that Arigoki played.
7-8.
And Arigoki stopped thinking that the ref had called a double bounce.
Referee repeating that he asked for silence
7-8,
during
7 right.
rallies beforehand. He asking the supporters to respect that.
Oh. Damon not happy with himself.
9-7.
Once again, the guy's struggling with the back corner there in the backhand. Every now and again, the ball does seem to stay a little bit lower than the other parts of the court. I saw that yesterday in a few of the games, especially with the ladies who play a slightly slower game.
Now Pemipo is good at fetching.
He's definitely been the one that's had to work the harder of the two so far. In this rally, Damien Groenewald is really making him work. But he's fetching the balls brilliantly.
Not up.
The referee called it down as a double bounce. Arigoki not happy with that call. He felt that the pickup was good. I think Damien Groenewald's silence there might be answering what the real story was there. It's very difficult to tell on the screen as the ball moves so quickly.
On now Pemipo there for a moment with his hands on the knees, then wiping his hands on his towel.
Very good fetching there from Arigoki. Oh, and then bumping into each other. Let called.
8-9.
Yes, let. No comments.
No comments. That is what the referee has just said.
That's just the referee's way of putting his foot down and telling the players that he's had enough of. He doesn't want any back chat or any comments or any chirping. I wouldn't be surprised if that's a final score, if he's going to give a conduct warning sooner or later. Well, the players haven't been too bad in this game. We have seen worse in this tournament.
Yes, let.
Just a let. I think most people would agree with that call that Damien Groenewald changed his line, and it looked like he was struggling to get to the ball, so he changed his line, ran into Arigoki, tried to milk the let or the stroke, preferably the stroke. Referee again putting his foot down and saying no more comments, please play the game.
On our Pemipo, a couple of times in this match, also not getting out of the way, was trying to get his shoulder there.
This time Arigoki not asking for the let, so the score goes up to 9-all. He obviously realized the ball was past him, he had no chance of fetching it.
9-all, second game. Groenewald will try to get to the game ball here.
Yes, let.
It's a let called once again.
9-all, serving left.
It remains 9-all.
Can we please watch the off the ball movement, gentlemen?
The referee talking loudly to the players now here in the second game. Reprimanding them about their movement on court.
Harlu, please watch with your mouth. 9-all.
Remains 9-all. The leg being played now. Good rally developing now.
Players are still bumping into each other. You can see Damian Groenewald asking the ref and telling him he's getting frustrated. The ref was just telling the players about the off-the-ball movement. There was a little bit of pushing and shoving again. And Damian Groenewald asking the ref, are you going to do something about this or not? However, it is game ball to Damian Groenewald at 10-9.
We see the altitude maybe taking a toll on the Nigerian, like we've seen with all the players from Nigeria yesterday.
Correct call there by the referee. Damian obviously not having 100% full access to the front wall. When the ball comes off the glass, just taking the let just to make sure he doesn't hit his opponent. Great cross court there by Arigoki. Shot being applauded by Damian Groenewald, showing great sportsmanship.
10-all. Player must win by 2 points.
Second time he's done that. 10-all now.
Obviously
basically
now,
mean they're into a tiebreaker now.
Exactly. Winner must win by 2 clear points. Very good pick up there by Arigoki. Plays a dead drop shot on the backhand corner. The ball was quite dead. I think the ref's going to say no let. Stroke.
Stroke.
Stroke. Wow, you can hear the crowd querying that.
Well, now Pemipo just standing after he plays
that is
the shot.
The ref saying that he had Groenewald had no access to the ball. You can hear the spectators querying that call. Arigoki not very happy about it.
Close to the corner.
Yeah, the spectators and Arigoki obviously both thinking the same, that the ball wasn't bouncing, so there's no ways that Groenewald would have got it. Obviously, what the spectators are seeing and what we're seeing on the screen is different, but I think that's quite a harsh call against Arigoki on that one.
Both players definitely going harder at it in the second game. Again, now a let being called.
What if he crosses?
The referee says it is a let. Groenewald stays on game point.
Damian Groenewald just trying to stick to his good length here, keep Arigoki in the back, and finally it comes off. Groenewald will be very happy with that. He goes up to 2-love. Arigoki will be very disappointed because obviously there was that call right at the end there that he disagreed with, and he'll be fuming about that. However, what's in the past is in the past. He needs to get his head right now because he needs to take a game and get back into this match. So he's got to refocus in his 90 seconds rest.
1 point closer. That's the way the second game in this match ended. The young South African Damian Groenewald leading 2-love. And he can finish off this PSA match in the third game. We'll be bringing that to you shortly.
Win a double trolley dash in our birthday promo while saving on these. 10 kg top score for $112.99. 2-liter original Coca-Cola for only $18.99. 1.5 kg real good mixed chicken for just $64.99. 750-gram Nola mayonnaise.
Damien needs 2 games to love.
Time called by the referee. The players back on court, ready for the third game now. Groenewald leading 2 sets to love, 11-8, 12-10.
So to any of our viewers on the Facebook page, on the Sports Wrap Facebook page, why don't you send us a comment and put a flag down of where you're watching this match from. We saw a couple of people who we know from different countries. Send a flag or just comment and tell us where you're watching this game from and what you think of the match so far.
Groenewald from day one, from Wednesday onwards, looked very determined. But Onaupa from Nigeria is a very good player, seeded higher in this tournament, seeded higher in the world rankings as well. So for Groenewald, it'll be a very good achievement, Stephen, to take the PSA men's title here.
It really would. I can't remember if he won all of his matches 3-love, if I'm not mistaken. So to win a PSA tournament in the Namibian Open, his first ever Namibian Open, and to win all of his matches 3-love, that would really be something to be proud of. So let's see what Adegoki's got up his sleeve for this third set, because I'm sure he's going to come out all guns blazing now.
We've seen the pace increase from the first game.
It's late.
A let called by the referee.
Definitely a good call there. That's a fair let there.
Not up. Thank you.
Right, just giving Damien Groenewald a round of applause there for his sportsmanship, letting the ref know that the ball had bounced twice. Scores now 1-1. You can see both players are definitely going to try and find their lengths. Obviously, if you find your length, it does help you dominate the tees. So if you get the ball to the back glass, let's see. Big call here. I think Damien might have got a knock there. No.
2-1.
Okay, so it is a stroke call, and Adegoki goes up 2-1.
Onaupa is chasing Groenewald, the shorter player, towards the back of court. Seems that is his tactic. But also
very good drop shot there. I don't.
Varying it.
Yeah, I think the ref agreed. No let. Damien, I don't think was going to get there. The ball wasn't really bouncing.
3-1.
A similar call went the other way in the previous game.
Yeah, exactly. But Damien showing the ref you could have gone the other way around, but the point is then he should have gone the other way around. He was taking a different line.
The Nigerians stretching the lead now to 2 points in the third game.
It's late.
3-1.
Damien not very happy with that call. He's wondering where he needs to stand for Adegoki to then play that shot. But I think that ball was just bouncing so much that I don't think he really could have stood anywhere that let would have happened. Even if you're standing against the wall, he would have pretty much have to be standing against the wall. Great shot there by Damien Groenewald. You realize that Adegoki was behind, the crowd really appreciating that. Adegoki had to move around him to pick that ball up, and the ball wasn't bouncing. The second bounce into the corner. And as I said, the crowd really appreciated that one.
Like in the previous game, we see Groenewald staying in touch with the opponent. He was behind in the previous game as well. But staying in there the whole time, which gives you the opportunity, of course, to take the lead and then take the game. In this case, if you can achieve it again, you'll be able to take the match.
End of discussion.
And the PSA title, the first one in Namibia.
You can see the referee getting a bit frustrated with the way the players are bumping into each other there. He told them that's the end of the story now. Adegoke ran into Groenewald. He realized he wasn't going to get to the ball, so it seemed like he deliberately ran into him to see if he could fish that stroke out of him, or at least a let. Referee said, sorry, no more discussions, end of story. That is not a let. And Adegoke, and then you can see the players embracing with each other and carrying on with the game, showing great sportsmanship. It's been one of those hard matches. You got to put everything on the line to win the match, but you can see they're still appreciating good squash when it's there. That crowd also surprised by that call. Groenewald had to run around Adegoke. He did take the wrong line initially. I guess the ref thought that because of the way the ball is bouncing, Groenewald could have still got there. So I'm not saying it's the right call, I'm not saying it's the wrong call. I think it is just one of those tough ones. Very good pickup there by Groenewald.
It's 4 points already to
another good pitch.
Meeple.
Damian Groenewald really showing his athleticism now in this rally.
Drop shot. Again, Groenewald complaining that he was obstructed there. This time,
very good squash play there by the players. Crowd really appreciating this high level, fantastic quality of squash.
5-3.
Score is now 5-3.
Call going in on our Meeple's favor there. He gets the point. Again in a 2-point with a 2-point lead in the third game.
Oh, the king of the nick, they call it. He saw it, he went for it, he hit it.
4-5. Groenewald back in it. Stays in touch the whole time. The Nigerian ranked first in his country. Groenewald ranked fourth in South Africa.
Fantastic shot there.
And now,
Adegoke showing his skill. It's not only Damien that can hit these crazy flare shots.
Groenewald did well to come onto the backhand there. Doing the basics. Good fetch. Good rally this.
Oh!
Huge applause.
The crowd loved that one. Very good rally. Adegoke making sure that Damian Groenewald was out of position, and when he saw where he was, he went for the shot and he got it exactly where he wanted it. Damian had no chance of picking that up. And remember, with Damian's skill and athleticism, speed across the court, to get a shot that he definitely can't get, you know it was a proper shot.
And loud applause from everyone here at the court. Everyone appreciating that shot. 7-4. That's the lead now.
Oh, tight ball. Just above the tin.
And now,
Damian not happy
7.
about something. Not too sure what the issue is there. Looked like Damian hit the winner.
Point.
Yeah, the point is Damian. So obviously something else happened in the rally. There's a lot of things that happen on court that a person doesn't see from the outside that makes it very difficult. These small little nudges and small little touches.
Groenewald closing the gap to 2 points again. He will try to get back within one. A lot of patience now.
Stroke to Damian Groenewald.
6-7.
6-7. Like I said, he wanted that one.
So Adegoki's really, Damian's catching up to him again. He had a slight lead. He obviously doesn't want to let Damian Groenewald catch right up to him now. He wants to make sure that he keeps that lead because this is now his do or die game.
Groenewald clawing back the whole time, also in the previous game.
Oh, beautiful shot. Damian Groenewald giving a round of applause.
And loud applause from the supporters as well.
Certainly one of those situations of respect where respect is earned. And he deserved it there.
8-6. Onapa Mipo back in a 2-point lead. Third game. He would want to force a fourth game.
Oh, good pitch. Oh, okay. I guess looked like that one was down. So that moves the score up to 7-8.
It's really close now again. 12-10. A tie break in the previous game. You might see the same. It's just going to the wire, Stephen.
It really is. It really is. And this is what we wanted. Very good length there. Good pitch there from Damian as well. Oh, it's a bit loose and he goes for it. Oh,
that was another.
Adegoki had a chance there. You can see his hand on his head. He's frustrated with himself. That was his chance to put that point away and extend his lead by 2 points again. Instead, it goes the other way around, and Damian Groenewald brings the score back to 8-all. Adegoki really needs to reset now, get his head right, because he's running out of time, running out of opportunities.
And one can just see the change in Groenewald now. Immediately, you know, there was a lot of calls to the referee by him, shaking the head. Now he looks tails up, smelling a victory probably.
Nice tight squash, very patient squash. Every time you give Damian that chance to play the volley, he really goes for it. And I think every time he gets them right, he's definitely going to put you under pressure. Back to basics, nice lengths again, just trying to wait for the loose shot from their opponents. There it comes. Uh-oh. What's the call? Let call. Adegoki really cheering for that one, hoping for a stroke. But I think the ref has shown his consistency in this match.
8-all, 7 left.
The ref feeling that Damian had cleared enough.
I have to replay this point.
Point
Good
there
shot.
goes to Adegoki. He's back in it. This will really lift his tail. You can see the fist pump.
Yeah.
And out.
Crowd really getting
9,
behind both players
8.
here. I think it's a very neutral crowd. Obviously, the Nigerians are more than the South Africans on the pavilion right now, so they might be a bit louder. But the general crowd very neutral and just enjoying some very good squash.
9-8, the 1-point lead for Ano Pimipo.
9-8.
And that just shows the quality of the refereeing in this match, where the players were really testing him and trying to get under his skin earlier. The referee stood up and said, listen guys, enough's enough, do that again, and that's the end. And since he said that, the players have calmed down, they've respected his calls, they've accepted his calls, and they've played on. And that's sometimes you just need those strong refs that can do that, and that just shows what needs to be done. And so kudos to Leeuw van Rooyen for refereeing the match the way that he has so far.
A lot of leads awarded in this match so far.
Again, clearly Damien didn't agree with that call, and I think it was maybe a tough call against him there. But again, he kept quiet and he just carried on with the match. So well done to the players on respecting the referee. Well done to the referee on putting his foot down and showing them who's in control here.
Groenewald trailing again with that 1 point. Hitting the
Damien
tin as
very
well.
frustrated with himself there.
Onaupe Mipo stretching his lead to 2 points. It's game ball to him now.
Adegoki really won't want to let this slide. I'm pretty sure if he wins the point now, if he wins the game, you're going to see a big shout from him, a big fist pump. Likewise, if it's done, Damien, I mean, it'll be match for him then. So, oh, good shot. Looked like it was going out there for a moment. Big stretch there, big lunge from Damien. Very good drop shot, very tight in the corner. Adegoki could do nothing with that one.
And Groenewald just coming back each time.
Game ball.
But Onaupe Mipo still with the game ball. We'll have to win the point back then from the serve. Groenewald keeper.
Making Damien
close
there.
eye.
Very good drop shot. Very good recovery. Oh, good pickup. Damien raising his hand, querying. Oh, and it's down.
Applause.
Damien not happy with the pickup on the previous shot. Adegoki gets the point, takes the game. Damien very frustrated with the ref calling.
Yes, play op PSA.
The Nigeria Onaupe Mipo taking the third game now. Groenewald still leading 2 games to 1.
The crowd giving
the fourth game.
Crowd giving Adegoki a call there. Good round of applause there for his win, cheering him on, trying to motivate him, make sure that this game goes right down to the wire.
Onaupe Mipo will want to come back and make it 2 each and force the final face-off in a 5th game. We'll have to see what happens. And you can do that live with us on Network Television and Sport Rap on Facebook. I hope you're enjoying it. Join us again for the 4th game.
It takes heart and all the soul. A head stuck in the game. It takes every bone in your body, all the blood in your veins. And then more blood, and more sweat, more tears, all your hopes and your dreams. It takes conquering fears. It's late nights and weekends, 6 to 6s, 9 to 5s. It takes sacrifice and suffering every moment of our lives. It takes kick after kick, being kicked when you're down. It takes fighting for hours for inches of ground. It takes every last line out, every last second spent. It takes absolute devotion. It takes 100%.
Win a double trolley dash in our birthday promo while saving on these. 10 kg top score for $112.99. 2-liter original Coca-Cola for only $18.99.
Ready to start with the 4th game in this PSA men's final. Thanks, Chops. That's the well-known Chops Chupara. He posted a Kenyan flag. And Gerard Bruver says he's watching on and from the Zambezi River. Thanks for commenting. Other viewers, let us know. Sport Rap Facebook.
Down. 1 love.
One love there.
So let's see if Aragoki has now got his tail up now. I'm sure that would have given him a boost of confidence, especially the way the crowd applauded him off the court there. Really appreciating some quality squash.
Starting off slowly again and already speeding it up a bit. Harder shots.
Ooh, takes a little slip. Good recovery. Oh. Sorry, Damien. Very good running. Got a little bit of wood burn on his on his ring finger there. That was very good squash there by Aragoki.
I think it's 2 love up already.
2 love.
It's 2 love.
Oh.
Stroke to Aragoki.
3 love.
You can see Damien Groenewald wants to say something to the referee, but I think the referee reprimanded him after a few words that he said when he walked off the court. So I think he's trying to keep his calm, trying to not lose his head.
If he does that, we'll be letting Ona Pemipu squarely back into this match. The Nigerian pulling away now, but Groenewald draws back a point. As in previous games, he would like to stay in touch as much as possible.
No let.
Sure.
2, 3.
That was very athletic squash there. Damien Groenewald taking the wrong line. In squash terms, Aragoki really taxied him there, but showing his athleticism, turning around, managing to fetch that ball. And then fetching the next one as well as Aragoki moved him across the court. And Aragoki thought that that Damien Groenewald was in his way, but he managed to clear the ball super quickly. And the ref called it a no-let.
The Nigerian huffing and puffing a bit earlier during the match. That's all gone now. All something of the past. The previous point, we saw the physicality showing in Groenewald's reaction.
Oh, great shot. Crowd really enjoying that one. Getting behind Aragoki there.
4-2.
4-2, stretching it again to a 2-point lead. But Groenewald is definitely not lying down.
Very tight there by Damien Groenewald. Aragoki unable to get the ball out of the corner there.
3-4.
3-4. Lovely squash. PSA men's final at the BDO Namibian Open. Now an unforced error again by Ona Pemipu. 4-all.
Aragoki will be very disappointed in himself there. I mean, he wasn't under pressure. He was going there for a basic shot. To hit the tin from that position in this situation of the match could be very costly. So he won't be very happy with himself. He surrendered his lead. The scores are even. It almost looked like Damien got a shot on the head there.
Ona Pemipu claimed that he played it in, that it didn't go out. It stays 4-4. 4-all.
Pushing and shoving, but this time they play through it. Oh, very deceptive there by Aragoki. He opened his hips up, it shaped as though he was either going to boast it or cross-court it. Damien Groenewald unsure of where he was going to hit the ball. And Aragoki played a great drive down the line. Very tight. Damien obviously right out of position and unable to fetch that ball.
The last 2 games, Ona Pemipu looking the stronger player, keeping the lead mostly, and then, as I said it, he makes that mistake, and it's 5-all once again. Stephen, it seems both players now also tiring a bit. They've played hard in the previous 3 games.
Donnie, I'm not surprised. It's not the hottest day today. As you mentioned earlier, we've got a bit of cloud cover and a bit of rain around the area. But obviously the humidity is a bit higher today than it was earlier this week. And when you have as many spectators in the building as we do right now, the body temperature also raises the temperature inside the building. So, and obviously these guys have played 4 very intensive matches during the week. So it's been some great squash. The guys are really feeling it. But now it's the last step, the last stretch towards the finish line. So
great nick play by Groenewald for the previous point. He tried it very soon there, and now on Bemipo. The referee awarding a let, it seems.
Arigoki not happy with the let, but you know, to be honest, the referee has been consistent. He's been calling these exact same calls let the whole time.
Interference, play a let, please.
So they're not happy, but
7 left, 6-5.
you know, if the ref had called it a let earlier and he calls it a stroke now, then it becomes inconsistent. So the ref has stuck to his calls, he's stuck to his guns, and well done to him. I think Leeuw's had a good game so far. There have been 1 or 2 suspicious calls.
Bumping into each other once again.
Okay, that's a tough call. I might have given that a stroke. The ball was bouncing. He could have got there. He didn't have any access to the ball. Obviously, we don't have access to action replays, so we can't really check that in a bit of slow-mo, but that's anyone's call. At this level, at this pace, the calls become very difficult. A person really appreciates the pace of the match when you're sitting on the pavilion watching the game. You realize how fast this ball's moving, how quickly the players are moving across the court to get to the balls.
Another good rally now between these 2 players.
Bit of ping pong going on there, a couple of volleys. Oh, Damien hits the top of the tin. Not happy with himself, but he seems unhappy with his foot there. I don't know if he's got a bit of cramp or... It is on top of his foot though, so I don't think it's cramp.
6-all, both players just taking a bit of a rest. Onapemipu has been standing again with his hands on the knees a couple of times in the last minute.
6-all.
Keep it going.
Referee asking them to resume play.
Yes, late. Interference.
I think a let is the right call there. I mean, the ball was in the air. I couldn't really see how it bounced out of the corner there.
Great shot.
It's a very good shot in the back corner
7,
there by
6.
By Arigoko.
7 left.
Goke, sorry.
The fist coming up again. That's the way he motivates himself, telling himself, yes, yes. Taking a lead, 7-6.
Oh no.
Stroke to Groenewald. Your movement off the ball is towards the player, not towards the tee. Please check the movement. I've warned you about this before.
Strict talk now from the referee. He's saying, I've warned you before.
That's very well said there by the referee. He has warned the players.
You were in his line towards the ball.
And the referee faces stroke to Damian Groenewald. You could see the Arigoke protesting in the beginning. Obviously, once he realized he couldn't win the battle, he went straight to Damian and apologized for tripping him to make sure that he is okay. So, all in all, they're fighting hard, they're playing hard, but they're playing fair. And there is still good sportsmanship and camaraderie between the two. And the score moves up to 7-all. And once again, as it has been throughout the match, it still is anyone's game to win.
It's 8-7 to Groenewald, I believe. And now Ona Pemipu coming back. It's 8-all. 8-all. There we go.
Damien really having to graft to get past Oregoke there.
Stroke to Oregoke.
I think that is the right call. Damien will obviously query the call, but he accepts it as a true sportsman would. See, that's Oregoke has done that numerous times today, serving towards Damien Groenewold's forehand behind his back, so forcing him to play a backhand shot. So he's obviously either thinks it's a weakness for him to play on his backhand, or he's just concerned about Damien's strength on his forehand. He's done it. I think that was about the 7th time he's done that today.
Sure.
Very great skill there. Very good reactions.
Both players being able to play a shot back.
Ooh, he puts in the post. Gives Oregoke the time. Oregoke takes the game there. Damien Groenewold won't be happy with himself. That boast was not needed at that stage. The game was a very basic game. It's playing the lengths, playing the lines. Oregoke was up in front of him and he played a boast, and it wasn't a very good boast. It was quite loose, it was quite high, and Oregoke capitalized. Oh, sorry, not the game there. Not sure why he went off the court. Maybe his strings broke, or maybe he thought it was game.
And it's still 10-8 game ball.
Bit of confusion there.
Right hand side.
So it is now game ball to Oregoke. The score is now, I believe, 10-8. I presume his strings broke because he is hitting the ball.
10-8.
Trying to get used to the new racket, I presume. 10-8, game ball to Oregoke.
Cross court. A lot of hard shots now.
Pace is really high in this match.
Groenewold slows it down.
I think for everyone watching at home, I don't think everyone really understands the pace of this match at the moment. The screen doesn't do it any justice. No let called.
I think that's Ona Pemipu
Damien
going to
up on
ground.
Oregoke.
Going to floor for the first time in this match. Getting physical now.
None of the players really upset with the call. I think they were all happy with the no-let. I don't know if Oregoke would have got to that, so I tend to agree with the call there. 9-10, Oregoke still has one more chance.
Winner.
If he takes this point, the match goes into a 5th set. Perhaps for all of us listeners on Facebook, all of you listeners, give us a comment. Who do you think is going to take this match? Who's your money on?
If Groenewold gets this point, it'll go into a tie break.
Oh, good fetch there from Damien. Oh, someone in the crowd. Someone in the crowd screamed and distracted the players, and neither player will be very...
Person who has an outburst, I will ask to leave the court.
Neither player will be happy with that. The referee is reprimanding the crowd. In the middle of the rally, during the silence, someone screamed, and the referee has told them, if you scream, if someone else makes an outburst during a rally, you will be asked to leave the building.
And that'll be a red card.
Pretty much.
Yeah, it's unfortunate there.
It is unfortunate.
It's a crucial moment in the match as well.
A crucial moment at a crucial time in the middle of a fantastic rally.
If you wonder why me and Stephen get so quiet, it's because we just watching this wonderful squash.
Adegoke takes it. Damien's under pressure. You can hear the crowd are loving this. Adegoke's pumped. You can see his left hand is still rolled up in a fist. As the match moves into a fifth set of the finals of the BDO Namibian Open PSA division for the men's for 2023.
11-8. That is the first set went to Groenewald. Then he took the second one 12-10 after tiebreaker. And then 11-9, 11-9 on Pemipo from Nigeria, returning the favor. And the last game will determine the first winner of the men's PSA title at the BDO Namibia Open. Stay tuned.
Muscle and joint pain should not be the reason you can't perform at your best. Norflex Gel. It also shouldn't be the reason you miss that important deadline. Norflex Gel. Or miss those precious moments that matter the most. Norflex Gel. Norflex Gel penetrates through the skin, numbing the area and relieving pain and inflammation. Norflex Gel is now available in the pharmacy aisle and in supermarkets. New Norflex Gel Fort is available for stronger anti-inflammatory action.
Beat the pain with Norflex Gel.
Win a double trolley dash in our birthday promo while saving on these. 10 kg top score for $112.99. 2-liter original Coca-Cola for only $18.99. 1.5 kg real good mixed chicken for just $64.99. 750-gram Nola mayonnaise at $28.99. And 700ml all gold tomato sauce, also only $28.99. See the details of our incredible double trolley dash competition at woermanbrock.com.
We're set for a wonderful finish here at the BDO Namibian Open, Squash Open for 2023. And it's the men's PSA final going to a fifth set. Each player winning 2 games. Groenewald taking the first 2. Well, now Pemipo from Nigeria pulling back 2 games. Both 11-9, so it was close. All of the games has been close, Stephen.
It really has, and it's really... Hope we're not going to carry on with too much physical stuff.
This match has been long. I would think an hour or more already. But we must remember there was a lot of stoppages as well. A lot of lets, balls being replayed, points being replayed. A lot of quick breaks by the players as well. They had to be warned by the referee to keep it going.
I won't lie, Adegoke really does seem to be the stronger, fresher player at the moment. When there's a tough call, Damien's the one that seems to drop his shoulders.
Stroke to Damien.
Pemipo seeded 4th in this PSA competition. Groenewald seeded 6th. 1-1. I think it's going to be one for you, one for me again.
Oh, great shot. Backhand corner. Right up front there, putting it into the nick. See Adegoke fishing for a little bit of time there. Untying his shoelaces, retying them.
And Stephen, I think, the way I watched Pemipo is when he's, getting momentum, he looks very good. And then when he loses a couple of points, it's the hands going to the knees.
Yes, let.
No, for sure. And the ref needs to
Serving
call that
left.
a let, because
Do
every
what?
time it's happened today, he's called it a let. So, you know, he's sticking to his consistency. And I said this earlier, if he had called it a stroke earlier or something else, it would have been different. Remember when there was a let, I think in the second or third game, when Damien was virtually standing in his own serving block and he called it a let. So he's got to stay consistent. That's the most important thing.
And Groenewald not able there to get to it at the back.
2-all.
2-all.
It's a very good length there by Adegoke.
Those legs will be tired by now. Also
Those
a lot
legs
of
will be
bumping,
tired.
just like that.
That's definitely only a let.
3-2.
You know, also the physical contact, obviously,
I think, I'm not sure.
takes
if the
a
let-
bit away
I'm not
from your strength and
No,
your stamina.
For sure. I'm not sure if the ref called it.
3-2.
Okay, he gave a no let. It was maximum a let. I agree there. So I don't think I'm not upset with that call. Oh, here we go. There's pressure. Oh, good fetch. He's still under pressure though. Can Damien capitalize? Oh, what a shot!
Yes,
Fantastic squash there.
He saw that Groenewald went the wrong direction and he played the ball where he couldn't get to it. 4-2, stretching that lead to 2 points. One can see that Groenewald is talking to himself silently in his mind. He was in control 2 games to love initially.
Momentum has definitely swung into the Nigerians' direction now. And again, serving, making him turn around, return the serve in the backhand direction. Wow! Cross-court, hold, flick, delay, as we know Damien Groenewald to do. Giving each other a high five, congratulating each other on a great shot there.
The Nigerian congratulating Groenewald on that shot.
Just a let.
Great to see that sportsmanship. I think it's the first time, you know, there's been applause from Groenewald mostly.
100%.
But recognition here from the better seeded player, Ona Pemipo.
Damien once again not happy with that call. But I tend to agree with the call there. He serves it, looks at the ref, gives him a sly look as if to say, justice.
5-4.
Damien Groenewald pulling it back now.
It shows you the results in the previous 2 games, 11-9, 11-9. But Groenewald is having a good match.
It's just a let, same as just now.
Yes, let. I do
Same as
however
previously.
encourage the players to keep the play going.
If he's not calling them strokes, he's got to stick to his calls. And the players need to understand that.
Stroke to Adegoke.
Point is given to Ona Pemipo.
Damien Groenewald, unsportsmanlike conduct towards the referee.
Hand out. 6-4.
So
6-4, yes.
Damien Groenewald applauding the referee on his call, and the referee calling a conduct warning against him, obviously assuming that it was sarcastic and he thought it was a wrong call again.
Not the first warning by the referee in this match.
Not the first warning, but the first official conduct warning. Which means if he does it again, then it will probably be a conduct stroke.
Oh, have to tread lightly.
Well done, Damien Groenewald. Great shot. Obviously, Adegoke did miss the ball, so that's obviously unfortunate.
5.
It remains neck in neck. It's wonderful to see here at the BDO Namibian Open.
Donnie, this is the spectacle we were all hoping for in the finals. A match that goes down to the wire, that entertains the crowd right to the end, and we still don't know who's going to take this match. I'm telling you now, whoever wins this is going to be some serious celebrating.
And I think there'll be a lot of respect between the 2 players, obviously, afterwards, and congratulations.
Certainly. Oh, he won't be happy with that one. Now, I don't think there'll be too much of a party afterwards. We'll see. There's obviously a prize-giving ceremony and everything. But I wonder how much energy these two boys, gentlemen, will have after this final for a big party. So I think they're definitely going to celebrate. Obviously, Damien's involved with the South African team that's coming up for the Test Series next week. So,
but if the Springboks win Ireland, I'm sure he might have a small party at least.
that is if he's still awake. Oh no! Sort of a like for like. Damien showing that Adegoki's racket hit him in the head.
You see,
but a like for like in terms of the previous rally. Damien hit the tin unnecessarily, quite a silly shot, and this time it was Adegoki's. So Damien brings it back to 6-7.
Concentration there on all the faces in the small crowd here, but they're passionate. I think that's also maybe our crowd's not used to this level of squash. That's why we heard those yells and
certainly
stop play twice in this match.
8-6.
Wow.
8-6. Everything hanging in the balance.
This match has gone on for ages. I'm not sure the exact time of when we started, but I think
it was about quarter 5.
I think we're nearing 90 minutes now.
Yes, late.
Eight, 6.
Pressure's really getting to the players. I'm sure the ref is also under pressure. Obviously, these constant queries in a high-pressure situation in this high-tempo match. Oh, good pickup. No access to the ball there. I'm sure that'll be another let. No let? Yes, let.
Yes, they will replay this point for a second time now.
Excuse me. And?
On our Pemipo now, it seems just asking a bit of extra clarity. Just looking inside the court. He gets the point finally.
9-6.
9-6.
Damien's really under pressure now. His shoulders are really slumped down. Doesn't look happy with the situation at the moment.
Stroke to Adegoki.
Oh.
7 right, 10-6, match ball.
10-6.
See if Damien Groenewald can pull something out here.
But it's a long way back for Groenewald now.
You're going to hear a massive cheer now. Whoever wins this point.
10-7.
And out. 7-10. Match ball.
It's never over until it's over, Stephen.
Yeah, the fat lady hasn't sung yet, Donnie. We know what Damien's got in him. Has he got any of it left, though? That's the question.
It's been a hard 4 days of squash.
7-10.
Yes,
match
this
ball.
match has been very long. Still match ball to Ona Pemipo.
Stroke ball. That's the right call. That makes it 8-10. Damien's creeping his way back in.
8-10. Match ball.
Remains still match ball.
I'm pretty sure everyone sitting on this pavilion has now got sweaty palms. I know I do. In anticipation to see where this match ends up.
Some maybe chewing the fingernails, definitely.
Definitely. Good fetch there. Oh my word! That was his chance to finish it off. He hits it into the tin. This match is right back. Oh, it's wide open again. Damien Groenewald has brought it back from 7-10 down to 9-10.
And Ona Pemipo will seriously have to refocus now.
Match ball.
1 point difference. Groenewald has the opportunity to make it 10-all. It's really been a marathon of a match, Stephen.
No, for sure. Unbelievable. Goes for the lob, puts it back into the backhand corner. Just keeping it basic, keeping it tight, waiting. Oh, yeah! And off goes the shirt. Adegoke Onopemipo, all the way from Nigeria, is ecstatic. The crowd is giving a massive round of applause to a massive quality game of squash. Very impressive squash from both players. The first ever Nigerian to win the Namibian Open. Well done to Adegoke.
And there you see his thanks and his praise. The fourth-seeded player in the men's PSA first ever final at the BDO Namibia Open, taking the title with the last 3 games each with the same margin, 11-9, 11-9, 11-9, after Damian Groenewald from South Africa won the first 2 games, 11-8, 12-10. It went all the way to 5 games. And Onopemipo from Nigeria taking it 3-2. We're going to go courtside shortly, where Brian Munangu is standing by for network television. From our side, I would like to say Stephen Berry, thanks a lot. Thanks to Namibia Squash. Thanks to BDO and all the sponsors. A final word very shortly from your side.
Donia, big thanks to all of you guys for being here, for allowing us the opportunity to get this match, this whole tournament broadcasted live. This has given us the exposure that squash needs in Namibia, and I'm hoping that the public enjoyed the quality of squash that was played this week, and I hope that the numbers come, the spectators come out in numbers next week to support Namibia as they play in the Test Series, proudly sponsored by Visions Consulting. A big thank you to BDO on making the Namibian Open possible in 2023 and turning it into a PSA event, and I hope we can host many more of these in the future.
Sure, we can build further from this and make squash one of those many Namibian sports that's progressing the whole time. We'll take a short break, and then after that, if not immediately, we'll be back courtside with Brian Munangu. Goodbye from Donnie Boyson and Stephen Berry.
That was great, baie dankie. Well done.
Win a double trolley dash in our birthday promo while saving on these. 10 kg top score for $112.99. 2-liter original Coca-Cola for only $18.99. 1.5 kg real good mixed chicken for just $64.99. 750-gram Nola mayonnaise at $28.99. And 700ml all gold tomato sauce, also only $28.99. See the details of our incredible double trolley dash competition at vurmanbrock.com.
It takes heart and all the soul. A head stuck in the game. It takes every bone in your body, all the blood in your veins. And then more blood, and more sweat, more tears, all your hopes and your dreams. It takes conquering fears. It's late nights and weekends. 6 to 6s, 9 to 5s. It takes sacrifice and suffering.
Yes, good evening, viewers, and welcome back. We are joined by Adegoke, who just won the PSA men's final. Okay, well, there's so much that's been going on here. Adegoke just won the PSA final with the men. Adegoke, you lost the first 2 sets. Just tell me what was going through your head after those first 2 sets.
I said, what was going into my head was, I'm a Nigerian. We never give up. We fight till the end. And then I had to pull in the fight and say, okay, give it all. If it doesn't work for you, it doesn't work. But give all your best. And then try to take the third game to settle down.
Okay, well, after the third game, it looked like you got your form back. You got back into motion. You won the third, won the fourth. To the last one. Started off easy. It became hard. Just tell me what was going through your mind in that last set and what made you push all the way to the end?
I said, this is the last game. He's going to take all his tricky shots against me this time, and then I need to be on my toes. If I'm flat-footed, he's gonna get me easily, which he did for some point, which he took some points off me because I was flat-footed. And then I said, okay, now I need to be on my toes, be on the tee, and then chop it off after when he does his tricky shots.
Okay, well, the last question. It was a tough match. How did you enjoy the competition from the South African?
So it's a very. I knew from the onset so it's going to be a very difficult one. This is my first PSA tournament out of Nigeria this year, and since I became a member of the PSA, this is my first PSA finals, and then luckily my PSA title.
Congratulations!
Thank you very much.
Well, there you heard it from the man himself, winning his first PSA live in Namibia here at the Wanderers Squash Club. But that's all that we have for you here from the team. You guys should have a good weekend.
NAMRAD strives to provide the best radiological care. We keep up to date with new technology, and with our state-of-the-art department, all radiology services are provided at one convenient location. You can find them at Lady Pohamba Private Hospital, corner of Frankie Fredericks and Umbika Street, Kleiner Cooper, Windhoek.